All right. Well, hello everyone. Happy Thursday. Is a busy week for me. Day 4 of this state of mental health in the Black community. I see there's one looking. I know there's one. See, I love the people that's just anticipating that timer to go on. I appreciate you. Yes, I do. I do so much. So listen, let's be obedient and let's just go ahead and share. Let's not wait to we got everybody on the screen for you to finally join the conversation and then ask a question that's already been asked. So why not you go ahead and share at the same time you're sharing? Why not? Thank you, Queen Cookie. I appreciate you. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Not that I appreciate any other guest panelists I've had, but you have showed up every night, and your night ain't even till Saturday, man. I appreciate you. So if you could be just like Queen Cookie did, just let us know where you're watching from. Toledo, Ohio. We know you representing. Kiana Harper's from Columbus. So let's see if there's anybody from Columbus watching, as well as I know you're waiting for Courtney to come. And Courtney, you just, people know you everywhere. I'm not even going to minimize the people that know her from just saying, oh, this little Ohio. I dare not say that. I dare not say that at all. So I'm actually going ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to go here and share. All right. From Elyria. See, and I believe this person came to see you. I believe they did. I believe they did. Let me be obedient to us. I'm telling you as you're coming in. Yes, go ahead and share. I try to be obedient with time, but it's because y'all don't like to share on time. That's why I be running a little over. Where am I already? Don't even know where I'm at. All right. Yes, we're still here, y'all. Just go ahead and share this page. Share, and why am I struggling? Why can I share this? Jesus, oh, where's that? All right, I'm gonna share here in a second. So tonight's conversation is another sensitive yet another important conversation that we do not have in our community. I think these conversations that we've had yet this far have only been conversations. Yes, no problem. We've only had these conversations, I believe, within people who are like ourselves and people that we feel comfortable to have this conversation with. And so I believe that since we have somebody who's willing to be very transparent with us and tell us her story, we should take the time to listen to her. So I'm going to bring in my my guest as possible. So I'm gonna have one just slide on in with me. and then I'm gonna have the other one just pop on the screen with us.
All right. Hi, you guys.
Hey. So I'm gonna let Courtney introduce herself. Don't tell us the story yet. Just let us know who you are, where you're from, what you do, all that good stuff about you, and then Kiana will shoot back to you for those who were not on the previous show who do not know who you are.
Well, hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Courtney Price. I am a licensed child care provider, now recently relocated in Elyria. I'm married. I am the oldest child. I'm the oldest grandchild of my family. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, that's pretty much it. Okay, she gave us a little bit. See, look at, hey, cousin, look at that. You got family there.
Hey,
y'all might be related.
Oh, the comments over here, yes. Okay.
Are y'all? Is that your cousin? Because y'all might be related.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh, we might have a family reunion. Kiana, that's Kanisha is her cousin.
I can't see the comments on mine.
Oh, well, Kanisha is also Courtney's cousin, and she's your cousin. So we might have a reunion here.
Okay, listen. Hey, Kanisha. I can't see your comment, but hey, sweetness.
All right, let us know, Kiana. Who are you?
Okay, so I'm Kiana Harper, and I am located in Columbus, Ohio, Delaware, Ohio. I am a licensed professional counselor. I am owner-operator of Harmonious Counseling, LLC. I am a mother. Well, first of all, I'm a daughter of the Most High. Secondly, I am a wife. And thirdly, I am a mother, in that order. Some of us get confused, but in that order. I was on last night, and I'm on tonight, and hopefully we'll be doing some more things in the future. So good evening, everybody.
Y'all, I'm still struggling here. I don't know why I can't share this post. Like, hold on, y'all. I feel I'm being really black tonight, but I don't mean to. but I cannot
You're
share
fine.
it on my personal page. It's just ridiculous. All right. So in the meantime, because I'm going to move out from the screen, again, for those who are just jumping on, we're just now seeing us. Let me just move this back so they can see.
Okay.
Oh, look, and our names. No, we got to switch it. Because my name.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. They know who we are.
All right, y'all. So for those who are just jumping on and just seeing this, please be obedient. Please share. I don't want y'all to jump in a part of Courtney's story and then be like, hold on, where are you going with this? I know there was a number of people last night who happened to join in with Mariah's story. And for those who may feel like, well, what's the point of having two different women coming in with similar stories? But their stories are not actually the same. Their stories are completely different. Here you had one yesterday. If you watched it, if you didn't watch it, let me just give you a teaser. She was pregnant and she lost her child due to what I would call the neglect of a hospital ignoring their patients' concerns. And yes, that falls into the different subject matter being infant mortality rate. Where here tonight we're talking about actually trying to conceive a child. And so on that note, I'm just going to slay away into Courtney. Just let us, you just go have your way. You just tell us the story. I feel churchy saying that, just have your way. But I mean it. So we are all believers. So we're going to let God do what he do. So.
That's good.
Well, okay. So for those who don't know me very well, I'm here to discuss kind of normalizing the conversation of trying to conceive. I feel like it's something that a lot of women don't talk about. A lot of us suffer in silence. And so with that being said, I started recently talking about it more during the most recent Infertility Awareness Week. That was, I believe, in April. And so, you know, I went on and just kind of let the Lord lead me on what I should be doing as far as sharing on social media and things of that sort. And later on in the week, you know, I realized that trying to conceive had more of, it bothered me more than I thought it did. And so I started to connect with other women, hearing their testimonies, you know, getting information about doctors to see and things of that sort. And so in short, my husband and I have been trying to conceive for about 4 years now. Right now, we are really entertaining the conversation of, you know, seeking infertility testing. And the reason I quote infertility is because I don't really claim that over my life as far as being infertile or any of those things. Neither of us have received any diagnoses or things, any of that. So with that being said, that's why we waited so long to get testing, because for me personally, I'm in a place right now. We just moved. We just purchased a home. We got a lot going on. You know, both of our businesses are in our home. And so we're balancing a lot with moving and getting unpacked and getting settled and comfortable and all of those things. And so with entertaining, you know, scheduling to see a specialist and get testing and all those things, I'm not sure if I'm in a place that I can handle what could possibly be on the other side of that door, whether or not those things are true or what they may have to say to me is what God has planned for me. Because through prophecy and different things that we've been told, as far as God's promise for us and over our lives, those things may not even matter. And so to put myself in a position to entertain even what might be told to me, I'm just really, 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 really struggling with that. So this is my right now, today's situation, my most recent situation. I haven't been on social media much, and not for that reason. It's just because I've just really been enjoying what the Lord has blessed us with. I have been protecting my peace and just staying in my space right now, staying in my lane and, you know, getting back recharged and balanced. And so with my time being filled with that, I've really, really, really been struggling with if I'm going to make that appointment or not. And so I'm glad that Ms. Harper is here, because when we talk about the topic of mental health and how that is affecting women who are trying to conceive, is very, very difficult. And it affects your mental health quite tremendously, if you ask me. And I say that because as a woman, sometimes societally, as we were just recently talking about, some people wouldn't even consider you a woman if you have not had a child yet. If you are not able to have a child, you feel like you're broken. You feel like you're not worthy. You feel like, for me, I'm a very goal-oriented individual. I go for what I want. And so with that being said, this is one of the things that you can go for what you want all you want. And that you really don't have any control over when that's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and things of that sort. And so with that being said, that is my biggest struggle, is because I'm used to, setting a goal and saying, okay, I want to do this now. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to work towards it. And so here we are working towards a goal and nothing's happening. And so there's a lot of frustration surrounding the issue.
Man, I appreciate that. Just like I said last night, I'm gonna be honest. When I chose you to come over, asked you to come on here, I really had no idea like the impact that it would take. And I know we just started, but I know there will be. Let me just say this: I'm not worried about numbers. I'm worried about impact, and Kiana knows this very well.
Absolutely.
Numbers mean nothing to me because you could be a whole bunch of people watching stuff. We know a lot of people watch our stuff, and don't even comment, don't chime in. But yeah, you hear somebody say in conversation like, "Oh, you heard? You saw my post, but you didn't even."
Yeah.
But so we're not worried about who watched it. What we worried about is impact. And I say that because when really, let me just be honest. When God gave me this idea, this vision to have this week, as I said before we got on air, I had no plans of doing this ever again. May was Mental Health Awareness Month, and I got on it. And then my panelists before said do it in July. And then when I was going to do it in July, the only thing I had in mind was police brutality and racism, which is what we did on Monday night. And then I don't know, something about that month of June, life was not right with me, and I just kept seeing people in situations, and I saw you, and again, like I told Mariah, I saw her name. I just saw y'all's faces.
Wow.
And when I see faces, like it's not even like I ain't trying to be all deep, but it's just like I just saw faces, and then I was like, let me get them. And I'm not trying here to exploit anybody's story because some people get it misinterpreted like you just want to get them because you want to exploit their story. No, that's by any means, because you've been open and bold to share your story. I felt like why not so much get on their platform, but also share and be dialogue with you. Because sometimes people want to hit surface level, and I do want to hit surface, but I also want to hit a larger span because sometimes you can only learn so much. A book can only teach you so much, but a person will tell you a story. You be like, oh man, I've been there. But as we relate to last night and the last couple of nights, people have been able to relate to every story, having absence filed, they're being arrested, or just having issues with police. So with that being said, I'm gonna first swing it over back to Kiana. For those who've never been here or seen Kiana, or for people who are just never been in counseling, I want you to just, again, help us understand how do we, what I call, date a counselor. I'll just say this for those who watching. I don't just say counseling and I don't go to it. I was doing that for a while. I was saying, I was telling people to go to counseling, but now I wasn't going to counseling. I started going counseling back in March of 2019.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, as we will discuss, and she'll probably get into it too, people like to say, if you go to counseling, you crazy. And especially the faith, us being believers. Yeah. People say God is the ultimate counselor, which he is. But let's not negate the counselors that he sent here in the physical form to help us, address our issues. And so, look, I don't know about you, but I've heard a lot of people say, so it kind of scared me actually for a while to go there. And at the same time, culturally, we say, and I'm going to say it now so you don't have to say it again, Kiana. I know we said it last night. What happens in our house stays in our house. Right. See, Courtney knew. She didn't want
everybody knows it.
She knows. So since we know this, that is a hindrance, and why I believe a lot of people in our culture,
they're not open to talk about things.
Yes, not at all. So, Kiana, can you help us understand how should we go about dating a counselor and actually getting a counselor? Come on, help us out.
Okay, so you can you hear me? Because it's kind of echoing here. Okay, so how do you go about getting a counselor? You can go on Psychology Today. You can Google. You can go to NAMI. There's different organizations online that you can actually look up counselors in your local area. Okay, and sometimes they're on a sliding fee scale because some of them may not take your insurance. So I would say start there first. Go to Psychology Today and just kind of put in what you're looking for, because they always have bios and profiles of different counselors that you can seek out. So when I talk about dating a counselor, we talk about this all the time, right? So when you think that you like somebody, you go on one date and like, oh, okay, that's not enough to get to know somebody, because there's really a process to counseling. The first meeting, a counselor is going to do an assessment, right? They're going to figure out all your symptoms. We're going to talk back and forth, yada, yada, yada. And a lot of times it's a lot of questions. It's a lot of covering paperwork. so on and so forth. So how would you know if you like me or not? How would you know if we gel, right? So you come back the second time and it's like, okay, it's a little bit different. It's still a review of the first session that you had, right? But it's a little bit more intricate, right? You have to get a treatment plan together. You have to get what people call an individual service plan, which is something that you guys like, goals that you work towards or tangible. So for me personally, I think a person should see a counselor at least 3 to 4 times before they say, I'm done. I don't want to be bothered with them. Right. And for counselors, I think that counselors should also give clients enough time to whether or not they like their clients. Because some counselors don't like their clients. I don't know. We've never even talked about that. Some counselors don't like their clients. And they're like, I can't do this. And we know as a counselor to refer out. But I think it takes at least 4 times, about 3 to 4 times before you can actually say, I don't like her. I don't like him. I'm going to call him the towel. So that's just kind of what dating a counselor would be like for me.
No, thank you. Again, I just have to do this because
That's good though.
As much as you tell people to go back and watch something, they don't. So we need to help the people who are chiming in tonight because if anything I'm gonna repeat from last night. Another thing, I'm sorry, just my mind's on stuff, is that I celebrate people who go to therapy, like when you do get your baby, okay, I celebrate like that. And like when people get married, because your wedding was beautiful. I see the pictures, it was beautiful. Okay, I celebrate like that. I legit do. Like my friends think I'm silly because I really do. Like they're like, he got me an appointment. They're like, calm down. I'm like, no, like I can say this not because this ain't it's confidential. I still ain't saying no name. I was able to connect somebody with Kiana actually.
Awesome.
And I was excited. Not because it was Kiana, but it was just like the fact that they were like, because I've been open about my experiences with suicide and now going to counseling, I guess people come to me as like a guru or
your experience
or a director. Yeah. Like, I got all these. I know y'all. I'm trying. For y'all who are looking for Black counselors, I'm trying to at least have a repertoire, in my and know them, not send them to you just because they're Black, but send them to you because I know they have a good backing. Because I know we all want to go to somebody Black, we want to support Black, but not everybody Black.
Right. But you can also find counselors on Facebook. Like I'm in what's called Columbus Black Therapists. There's a group of us. There's like hundreds of us. They're in this group, and basically we always put out like if we're seeking new clients or what our methodology is. Somebody asked me yesterday, did I do CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy? Yes, like different things like that. If we do different kinds of therapy techniques that we use, mindfulness might be one of them. So you can go on Google and look and see if you guys have local Black therapists. So for anybody who's listening, I just want you guys to know that you can definitely go on. Because I think it's more so relevant now since, Black Lives Matter movement and all that kind of stuff like that has come up. People have started creating different things. So that's also an outlet.
I appreciate it. So, I love to be the antagonist I love to play that side because, there might be somebody watching saying, you're talking about Black issues that happen in the community. All people can have issues with conceiving children. Well, let's also, call facts what they are. And that being that, and I'm going to just read it straight off from, it's not just because the website is Google. I'm actually going to give you
some statistics.
Yeah. Let me just go in here. I just like this one paragraph. I'm going to just do this one paragraph. Even though it says 2008, it still says what it says.
Right.
It says in their study, and I'm going to show you what study is in a minute. Black women have a significantly higher odds of ever having experienced infertility than white women, even after adjustment for socioeconomic position, marital status, and other risks. And for infertility, this is disparity persistent. Now, you're going to be like, who's this from? Hold on, give me a second, because I was doing this all last night, too. This is from the United States National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health. Okay, if you think I'm wrong, .gov, okay? .gov. Okay,
right.
And so it is. And so I actually was looking at this earlier. It says, what race is the most fertile? Which I thought this was, I don't know why I laughed. Most fertile, that just, okay.
It sounds bad.
It do sound bad, okay. But it says Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander women have the highest fertility rate of any other ethnicity in the United States. And this was in 2018.
Well, think about it, though. Think about environmental factors. And how our body, and how our body adapts to our environment.
Yeah.
There's environmental. I mean, look how tropical. Think about fresh water, fruits, vegetables, sunlight.
They have a different
all the climate, different everything.
So we didn't talk about this last night, and I'm glad you said that. You know why? I didn't mean to cut you off, Keon. Did I cut you off?
No, you're fine. No, you're good.
I had a coworker ask me this yesterday with these relationships, these two shows, about why is it so hard for African American women to get either to have a child or even why infant mortality rate. And I begin to just sit there and wait and think, like, I want you to think about our lives. Mm-hmm. And you just read what I said. Marriage says, we're talking to a married woman. I said this last night, and I'm going to say this is how I felt when even talking about to you even talking to you now. It was mind-boggling to me as a child to see or to even think that married people have sex. Christian people have sex. Right. Reason being, I said it last night, and be honest, because you see so many people who aren't married, right?
Absolutely.
So many people ain't married who are not just having sex, but having children. Yeah. And I'm like,
can
how that work?
Right.
It hurts me, and I'm gonna go as far as this and say that putting my family business out there. We get into your question. We get into this question.
No worries. Take your time.
It even makes me mad because I'm what you call an auntie mom now, and it bothers me because there's so many women I know, family and friends, who want to have children, and then you have so many people who have children recklessly,
yes,
and don't take care of the kids. And so it breaks my heart when you have people who really genuinely want to have children,
yes,
and are in covenant with one another. Like, you ain't got no baby daddy story, that you know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say one of the benefits of being married is that you can have undefiled sex. Like, let's just be real.
I feel not a little bad about it.
Not hello. Can we hang from the chandelier, please? Because I mean, seriously, like, really. Like, you don't, I mean, thank you. That is, hello.
You know, the single woman, but y'all have your moment. Have your moment.
No, I'm just saying, as a married woman, that's something that you don't have to feel guilty about. You don't have to sneak about it. Your body belongs to him. His body belongs to you. I mean, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? And so one of the things, never mind. I'm going to talk to you about it after. I'm going to let it go. But yeah, go ahead. I'll talk to you about that after. I'll talk to you about it afterwards. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm gonna talk to you about it after.
You can't see the comments. Kanisha said, Kiana.
Kanisha, I love you. But it's the truth. But it's the truth, though. I mean, think about it. It's the truth.
This is what I did this to myself again. Having another night of women of married, married women. This, last night I had 3 of y'all. This is what I did. This is what I did to myself.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're just positioning yourself. That's all.
Pun intended.
Yeah, no. Right.
So hold on. My thing is, so let's go for Courtney's story. Let's go here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you've been, let's do this. How long have you been married though?
We'll be married 4 years in October.
4 years. And then in the midst of 4 years, and I'm not saying I wasn't paying attention, we got distractions, children came along.
No problem. Ask your question.
How many times have you guys tried or personally planned to have children or
if I knew how many months was in 4 years, I would quit that.
Okay.
But, I mean,
we try. Yeah,
we try.
We try.
You try. You use apps, or you don't, or you use different techniques. Lay on your back with your legs in the air. All these different things don't work. If you ask me, some people say they do, but my experience, they don't work. And that's why I say I don't claim infertility. It just hasn't been our time yet. But nonetheless, that whole time,
the 4 years.
Of course, there were times where there was more attention to it, or more, not attention to it, but more purpose behind it. Rather than we're just doing this because this is what we do. This is intentful. Like, this is the time we supposed to be doing this. This is what we're going for. So of course, times on and off, like we might get busy with things, busy with work, or busy just with projects, or it's hard, mentally, it's like, you just give it a break. Like, I'm gonna just stop, you get to the point where you feel like you're obsessing over it. So you try to put your focus in other things in other areas. And so those things do help. Sometimes if you have a busy job, if you have other projects going on, other goals that you're trying to meet, it helps kind of put your energy towards those things. So when you become so involved with those things, you're tired or whatever, it's just something that you don't think about as much. So to answer your question, actively over the, going on 4 years, we've been trying.
Oh, so what is your mind? What is your mental state of mind with going through these 4 years? Like to now that we have a counselor here to talk to, what has been your mental state of mind? Like, has it been a time of depression? Has it been a time of like, even anxiety? I think you can have anxiety during. I'm not.
No, that's okay. I think I don't think I've experienced depression. I think that I've definitely had what I would call a moment, mostly monthly when that time comes around. Mm. And for a long time, I used to feel like it would only affect me and it didn't affect my husband. He just had a different way of thinking of things, and he's very, very, his faith is very strong. And so he is the one who will be the reminder, like, it's okay, we know God's promise and it's all right, we just gonna keep on, we gonna keep on going, our time is coming, all of those things. And so with that being said, there had came a time where, it was a shift. It was like when my time would come during the month, it was like, oh, okay. In my mind, I'm like, all right, I got 30 more days. What can I do in 30 days? I'm just going to keep on achieving things, keep on getting things done. And then I realized it would affect my husband. And he wouldn't have a dramatic reaction to it. I would just realize that, maybe he needed to take a moment, step away, get himself together. And then he, maybe pray about it, listen to a word or listen, put a song on or something. He's very big into worship and devotion. And so, I just kind of picked up on it started to affect him more than it used to.
Okay.
And so now I think currently with the conversation of do we want to make an appointment or do we not want to do that and just continue to wait on the Lord? That's probably where I think I've been in the worst state mentally than I have in the last 4 years. And I say that because I do have a lot of things going on. And because just as time goes on, it gets harder and harder. Times like Mother's Day or Father's Day come along. And, sometimes we just like, we just gonna ignore social media for today. And sometimes it's easier than others, or sometimes it's even just holidays in general. People do cool stuff with their kids for holidays, or people are, excited about what they got their kid for Christmas, or, all of those things. And so, not to give anybody the impression that we're never happy to see other people doing that, because we are always and very much so in support of others and clapping for others and all of those things. We are just patiently waiting for our time to be able to join in with y'all and to share those moments, just like, others do. And so I say that to say, I'm glad that Kiana is here to give her, input on what she takes from the story that I'm telling, as well as me, saying, because like I said, I haven't been on social media in a long time. I haven't shared anything on social media as far as trying to conceive, even in the group that we share, Wanna Be Mommy. I haven't really been pouring into that either, just because I'm just trying to figure some things out on my own. And maybe me stepping out and giving, Elder Ruth told me, you give what you need. That's what she taught me. You give what you need.
You give what you need.
So with me, maybe, getting back out there and encouraging those women I would get in turn what I need as well to continue to keep pushing. I just haven't had the mental capacity for anything, not that it's like, oh, social media is so bad. I enjoy social media just because I'm in the process of wanting to brand myself. And one of those things, which is a big part of me and become a big part of me right now, is trying to conceive. And so, I am neglecting that whole goal right now, I think, for the sake of my mental health, because I just don't want to do it right now.
Well, at least you know that. Like, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Kiana, you can chime in with this part. It's not a bad thing. I don't want nobody to guilt trip you, or you can feel guilt trip yourself, because I do that at times where
me too.
You be like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
But your heart and goal right now is to be a mom. Like, it is that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But because it's not happening, I feel like sometimes, not you, I'm gonna do me. I feel like at times we can still pour ourselves into other things that still mean well to us.
Yes.
But this right here,
this is the thing.
Like, this carry more weight. Yeah. And so
I got you.
The mental work, I said this last night. Our body only do what our mind says, and so I believe, because you might be overworking your mind, because
absolutely
you can be overworking your body because where your mind is at.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Kiana, chime in, help us out right now.
No, I'm listening. No, I'm listening to you guys. So my question is identifying. Okay, so you don't want to go to the doctor or the specialist because Are you fearful, or you just don't have time?
I'm both. Time is very limited for me right now, but my mother has made it very clear to me, which you know my mother.
I love her.
She told me once recently, very emotional. I was very surprised, but you know, as a parent and even as family members, watching your loved ones go through something that they know is painful to you, it's hard for them too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, including people who are not our family, our extended family members or friends, and you know, worship members and things like that. They all have bought into this process with us. They have been praying for us and clapping for us all along the way. And so I say that to say, you know, it's just a lot. So it's both time and the fear of it. I feel like my plate is full right now. And so with the possibility of anything I may find out could be negative, I am just very, very, very hesitant on adding that on top of my plate.
But it says to believe the report of the Lord, not the report of man.
You're absolutely right. So I'm in my flesh. I'm in my
okay, that's what I'm about to say now. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I was getting ready to say, because I want to take it both ways, right? Because some people who might be watching might not be a Christian, might not be a Christian, right? Might not be a believer. Let's just say that. Might not believe in God, whatever else. So what I would say is, I would say, you know, okay, go to the specialist. Go see if there's anything wrong with you, right? Because either you can say there's nothing wrong with you at all, and you can be like, okay, maybe this is just stress. Maybe this is, you know, something going on. Maybe you can change your eating habits or begin to work out. I mean, we don't know what it is. It could be nothing at all.
Something simple,
right? Something simple. And therefore, as a non-believer, then they could take the regular precautions that they need, right, to do whatever it is they need to do. Bam. Okay. Now, as a believer, we can find out what's going on with our bodies, right? And we can say, God, this is not so, because you know my heart's desire. So my heart's desire is to be a mother. So and hold on, and it's been prophesied to me that we're going to be a family. So you give God back his word, what he has given to you through a prophet.
Amen. I like that. I needed that.
You see what I'm saying? You say, you know what, you in 2018, you told me, you prophesied, you had your prophet, because prophets hear from God, right?
Yeah.
You had your prophet tell me and my husband that we were going to conceive a child. So, okay, what does this look like? Give me strategy.
Year though.
Did she say the year?
Yes.
I did say the year. Give me strategy.
You did. No, I don't know if I did. I don't think I did.
No, you didn't say the year.
You said the year.
Okay.
But look at the Lord. Okay, well, we going
That's the after conversation.
That's the after conversation. So basically, but no, seriously though. So therefore you can strategize. God, what are you doing? What are you doing from, hey, this is what he said. What's the problem? You know, what is it inside of me? What do I need to do? What does my husband need to do? Right? One thing that you did say, you said, I set a goal and I go for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's very frustrating when you set a goal and you can't meet that goal. Right. So the enemy will come in and say, oh, no, that's not for you. Oh, no, that's not going to never happen. The devil is a liar. And you have to continue to tell him he's a liar. Absolutely. Now, again, for everybody who's watching, this is something, we're talking spiritual. We're talking Christian stuff. We're not talking worldly stuff. Right. I just want people to, because see, I don't want people to get it twisted. Like, so we can shift to just regular old counseling, therapy, right? And then we can shift over again to spiritual counseling. There we go. Yeah. So we have to see how we're looking. I'm just saying, because people get it twisted. I don't want people to
we need both. You know why? We do need both, because you know, we know our time. I know my time. Let me be honest. I know my timeline. It ain't all say. But we said it last night. I'm praying sometime this week. Somebody might say they find Jesus, because I've had all these ministers, Lord God.
And even if they don't say it.
Yeah.
That's another thing that taught me. A lot of people are definitely being moved by the things that you're doing, and they might not even ever tell you.
Yeah,
they might not tell you at all. But they're watching you. One thing that I've learned is that people are always watching. Yeah, God always tells me people are watching you, watching your behavior, watching when you go out, watching when you're on the phone. People watch all the time. So the goals. So you set a goal, right? You set a goal, and you're like, hey, me and my husband, bam, we do it. Right. And you're like, this one thing. You're like, we do apps. You said we do apps. We do this. We do that. That's all control. right?
Yes.
That's all
You're right.
control.
You
And
right
so you have to relinquish, but you have to relinquish all control, right?
Yes.
Because God, if God's going to do it in his time and we're believing his promises, God, you got to work this thing out. I always tell God, you brought me to this. I didn't ask for this. You brought me to this thing. So I'm going to need you to help me walk through this thing.
Give me a pen and paper.
Oh,
Real quick.
hold on. We gonna pause it. We gonna pause it.
She's so funny, but it's the truth though.
Yeah, and listen, I appreciate her going to get up and go.
She's so funny. I love it.
Look, because I gotta write this down.
Yes. Yeah, but seriously though, if he brought us to this thing, he's got to walk us through it. He's given you everything that you need. And as a matter of fact, I was wondering between the two ladies, Mariah and you, Courtney, I was like, okay, so wait a minute, God, what does this look like? We're talking about birth, right? And so if we as believers, if we believe what scripture says, he opened up Sarah's womb even after she laughed.
Absolutely.
She laughed and was like, right? Like, really? I'm old. He opened up the womb. Even with Hannah, he opened up her womb after she cried out to him and was like, listen, these people are taunting me, right? This woman is taunting me because she's having kids and I keep coming up here year after year. And you mean to tell me that you're not blessing me?
Right.
So what I'm saying is that God is the one that's in control.
Absolutely.
Between the two of you guys, between you and him.
Because I don't know if she's gonna remember what she said.
Did you remember what you just said?
Because when I said the guy,
so she probably, that was organic. I don't know if she could repeat that.
Listen, you have to go back.
We'll go back.
You know how it works.
You can go back.
Courtney, you know how it works. You know how it works.
Yes.
Yes, you know how it works. So yeah, like we were talking about. Oh, so just the stress, just the fact that you said we have home businesses.
Yes.
We have, and I really want to tell you this, and I hear it very clearly what the Lord is saying, but I'm not going to say it. I will literally type it.
Private chat.
Yeah, I will type it.
All right.
Because sometimes it's not for people to hear. You know what I mean?
I was like, girl, say
private chat. Do the private chat. Look here, while you do this,
I will. Okay.
I'm gonna no, you do. Keep typing.
I did.
All right.
Okay.
Did you? Yeah, I did.
You.
Did you hear me? You see it?
I see it.
Okay. Like literally, it's like, yeah. Sorry, you guys that are watching.
You know, I'm like, this is a three-way conversation. Let me help y'all out for the people that's watched. Oh, there's more. Hold on.
Okay.
Seriously, like no other. Like no, like
you're gonna have to tell me how to do that.
Afterwards. Afterwards, yeah. Like
I get anybody like, I'm just here. That's it.
So
I get anybody
like no, because I'm gonna tell you, because with my youngest son, I know exactly when I conceived. I know exactly when I conceived.
Amazing.
Literally, and I was like, wow. Are you? And yeah, like.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like I was like, really, Lord? Like, and I didn't even. But it's like you don't.
Love you too, Miss Tony.
Yes.
Sorry, we all answering to the comments, but
yeah, love you. I don't know who she is, but is it who? Tony who?
Tony Duncan. Back home.
Yes, I love you, Tony. Oh my God, yes, that's my other mother.
She said she over here trying to. She in Cleveland.
Yes.
She's trying to head to another function and try to listen to us at the same time. Look, you be. Let me interrupt you real quick, and let's go back for a minute on what we said earlier. Courtney mentioned she touched about it a little bit. For women who are watching this, who may be in a similar situation like Courtney's, you've been told, and actually a friend of mine actually sent me something to go along with this tonight. And I'm going on the way of for a minute, just a little bit about being a woman. You know, when I feel like as children from time being a girl, young lady, I believe society, our mothers, our grandparents, they tell us, you know, one day, baby, you're going to be a wife. And one day, baby, yes. And one day, baby, you're going to be a mother. And given tonight, Courtney wants to be a mom, but I do want to go on both sides that there are some people in the world who don't want those things. I don't care what culturally says that, or your mother has said that you're going to be this and be that. I actually had somebody tell me, you raising whose kids? I did think you had that mother instinct. And I'm like, oh.
Wow.
I had a cousin that I love.
That's ignorant. Yeah, that's ignorant.
I had a cousin that I love so much to tell me. She said, "Baby, I don't think you're gonna be married." And you know what? At one part I actually gave it to her. I almost gave it to her. I not gave it to her like argue. I like, you know what? I'm not gonna argue with you. I could kind of see your point just for a slight moment. And I say this being, and the reason why I'm gonna give hold on 1 second. I know.
Yeah, because
hold on,
child.
I'm gonna just say again.
Yeah, like what?
I'm gonna help y'all out. This ain't about me tonight. She said it's solely being based on, and I perceptions are not true on everybody's case. What you perceive of something is not always true, and I know sometimes people believe that your perception is true. It's called your perception of something doesn't mean it's true.
For a reason.
And their perception of me is that because I like Courtney, a go-getter, and I've been independent, been single. And I'll be honest, this ain't about me. Been single all my life, and we ain't going over there. But because I've been able to have male friends and what have you, just ain't locked down one, and I ain't got locked down anyway. It's supposed to lock me down.
Okay.
but because I just keep pushing, I don't need to, people. So I guess people feel like I'm super independent, that I would never, I think, in their mind, they've never said this, but I'm just using words. I think they think I'm super independent, I'll never bow down to even be submissive enough to be a wife. That's the way I can say that. And I'm like, they never said it, but I think that's what it is. I really think that's what it is, because some people might even say, you doing this by yourself.
Well, yeah, but that's just an excuse. People, it's just intimidation. I mean,
yeah,
and so
just have to meet. They have to meet not that you have to meet your match, but obviously those who have felt that or said that, they just wasn't your match because they weren't. They don't have those same goals and aspirations. I feel like I can be the same way. I'm very independent, can hold my own, and all of those things. But that I'm still a woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. So. With that being said, I think my husband, just like I added to him, I am his helpmate. Your husband is going to add to you, and then you will submit. You will not be like, yes, like I have no anymore. It won't be that way. It will fit together like the perfect puzzle that God meant for it to be. Yeah, you know what I mean. You will be so. I don't want to say in love, but it would just be so in purpose that you will probably think that you never would have.
Well, it wasn't that much work. Yeah, people.
Do you ever pray for your future husband? Do you pray for your future husband?
You know what? Even that question. Oh, you know what? We're not going into that, Kiana. We're going to do the part two.
Okay, I'm just asking. Okay. I'm just saying.
Yes, my friend sent me this. If you haven't seen this before,
I haven't seen that. That's beautiful.
Well, we're not going to answer all these questions, but we're just going to mention.
Well, let me read what they say. Okay, so it's a girl on the floor. She's crying. She's looking at pregnancy tests, and there's like 4 of them around her on the floor. And then there's the bullhorns, as you can see, and questions. So the questions are you pregnant yet? Don't wait till it's too late. Girl, hurry and give your husband a child before he starts wandering. Don't keep us waiting too long. Where are my grandkids? Don't you want children? You'd be such a great mom. You're lucky. You can just get up and go. And all of these I've heard. Ooh, child. You don't have children. You don't understand. And listen, I mean, all of them are so very true. I think that even all of my other women who are trying to conceive can attest that people do, just like that comment that you got about, baby, I don't think you were going to be a wife or whatever and all that nonsense. It drives me insane how comfortable people feel to give their negative, not only your opinion or your perception, but your negative perception. But then when I bite your head off, I'm crazy. I'm the one that's crazy. I'm the one that's wrong with her. But these questions, and I know some people ask them with the most innocent, gracious heart. They're not trying to be
rude. Yeah, they're not trying.
But there are some people who are
intentionally.
These questions are rude. Period. I mean, don't wait till it's too late. I mean, and I'm glad that I read those questions because it made me think of so many different perceptions that people have thought of us. So many people think because we both have businesses that we're waiting because we want to get a business or we want to have certain things before we have a child. Not true. Some people think that we're not ready or we're saving an X amount of money. So people are like, you're never going to be ready. You're never, as much as you try and prepare and all that stuff, you're not going to be ready. And it's like, none of those things are true. And so people, what they do is they see you living your life or whatever, and they make up their own perceptions and they make their perceptions true about you. And then they approach you with their true perceptions of you as if that is your true testimony. And so before you allow me to speak for myself or to explain myself or have my own truth, you got your truth for me. That's offensive to me. I've become extremely sensitive to that, and not sensitive in a way like I'm going to burst out in tears, but sensitive to the point where my response is usually sarcasm, or, you know, I'm just going to politely educate you. Like, okay, well, that was rude. You know, my response is said, you know, if somebody says, are you pregnant yet? This doctor that I used to work with at Family Planning, she's like, well, when people ask me that sometimes, I'm like, well, I actually just had a miscarriage yesterday. You know, you just sometimes, you know, you may have, but sometimes it makes you want to be just as rude because it hurts. It's just like,
it is.
Maybe just ask, hey, do you want to have children? You know, have you something?
But two, you know what? Though we have to think about this. The enemy, okay? So the enemy be using people.
Yes.
Did you just say that the enemy uses people? Sometimes people don't even be knowing what they do. I know this sounds. I'm not excusing anybody in their behavior, but because people be so jacked up a lot of times, they don't even know why they don't like you. They don't even know why they're saying stuff to you the way that they say it. They don't really realize it. And you're like, what? And then it penetrates us, and he's done what he's needed to do because he knows. He sits and watches us. He knows what's going to bother us and what's not going to bother us. He knows what status you're in, right? And so because you're at a different level, people are looking at you at a different level. So you have to perform at a different level, right? But we still, like you said, we're in the flesh every day, but the flesh die daily. So we have to literally, and I'm not saying that everything you're saying is valid. How you feel is valid. All of it is valid, right? But as women of God, we can't go back and hit somebody with our fists or cuss them out or anything, because then it's like, you ain't godly. Oh, I thought she was a Christian. Oh, I thought she believed. No, but you ain't telling me that it's like you poke the bear long enough, it's gonna bite you back. It's gonna bite you. But you know, it's like poke a bear. And I want to say one thing to the bullhorns that was around there.
Yeah.
When you were talking about, you said something about a woman being a woman, right? First of all, Adam and Eve were in the garden, not Adam, Eve, and all their kids. True. I want to say that. So first and foremost, we're women first, whether we decide to have kids or not. We are women, right? Whether we can have kids or not, we are women first. And that's just pure ignorance. And I think that it's just a lack of just empathy that people have, because people don't walk in other people's shoes. So they just say whatever they want to say. And then if they're older, right? People think that they can say whatever they want to. God, now listen, I'm just being I'm respecting older people have a different, you know, they just feel like they can say whatever they want to say.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just kind of like so they don't cognitively, they're not even thinking that they're hurting your feelings, because guess what? It's something that was probably said to them.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's like we just pass it off, even though it's hurtful, you know, we have to be respectful. But yeah, like I wouldn't even let that even penetrate, because you know who God has called you to be.
Absolutely.
And as far as a baby and the timing is right, he'll be here when he will, you know, sometimes like God's time, well, not sometimes, all the time. God's time is not our time.
Absolutely.
Ever. And so there's a specific time, you know, that everybody is born. I know if people are into astrology, I used to be into astrology. And they talk about, oh, I'm born in the morning time, I'm born at night, I'm born in the afternoon, yada, yada, yada. There's like, you know, just what it is. Okay. And there's just a specific time that he's going to be born. And that's what it is. He's just waiting for the right time. And I truly believe that. So you take that to the bank.
Okay.
Literally, I literally, it talks about your son will be born at the appointed time. At the appointed time. Okay. So it's not even, just all you have to do is what God has told you to do, and to strategize. Right, God, what do you need me to do on this end? What do you need me? And that may be even giving up some stuff. I don't even know. Maybe it's giving up something. I don't know. Right. But yeah, it's at the appointed time.
So
girl, go ahead.
You good?
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. I gotta turn on my light. It's getting dark in here. But
yeah, I feel the same way. I want to ask if anybody who's watching, if there's any questions that you have for Courtney that we haven't asked yet. Courtney, is this good for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want you to feel like we we got you out on a Thursday night.
No.
All right. But anybody that's
I have a question, Courtney.
Yes.
For you, Courtney, were you mad at God?
No.
Were you angry at him?
No. I don't think I've experienced that.
Okay.
I think I've experienced unbelief, doubt, all of those things, but not anger.
Okay.
That's a good question. It's funny you was going there. I was even going to ask how you even grieve the loss of, in a sense, your doubt. If that does that make sense? Like, have you grieved the what your expectations? Like,
that could have been.
Thank you. There we go. Thank you for helping me out. I was trying to figure out how to put that. Like, because we all grieve differently and over different things, and so
I really don't know. I don't even know if I know what grief feels like, and that could be ignorant.
No,
but
in life or grief of this child or just in general. Like, I don't know what grief is.
Yeah, like I think. I don't know. Like when I try, as far as my memory can serve me.
Yeah.
Like I said a little bit earlier, I think that the hardest time in this journey is right now.
Wow, it's crazy because I try to be obedient by not asking people to come like during their heart. Like,
no, that's okay. Which I mean, it was hard, right? It was hard getting in contact with me. It was hard getting me to respond.
Yeah, it was.
And I was like, I'm sorry, it's a bad time. Not like a bad time. I don't know what I responded exactly, but it was like, this is a crazy time for me.
There's a lot going on.
And my first response was about to be like, this is not a good time. I cannot commit to anything. And then, quickly I feel the Holy Spirit corrected that and was like, no, but you might be blocking your blessings. So just go ahead and do what you gotta do. Make time, make it work, and just do what you need to do.
Yeah. And I say that being honest, like I really was, I'm going back and forth between you and Mariah's story just because you guys are probably the most sensitive subjects we've got to this week, yet this far. Because we were talking about suicide on Saturday and you talk about sensitive, that's fine. Right.
Yeah.
And then Friday we're talking about incarceration and being rehabilitated, and that's still another sensitive subject. So I feel like after we left Monday, they just got all sensitive. No offense, but with you and Mariah, I try to watch like where you're in your lifestyle. Like I don't know y'all, I don't live with. I mean, I know y'all, but don't live with y'all. And I saw last week Mariah was celebrating, her child, and I was like, I even asked her like, "Are you sure?
This is a good time?"
Like. But it's but I think it's a beautiful thing when you can see someone come and speak through the pain. But hold on, so we got questions. Hold on. Let me not ignore the people because lately they have not been asking questions. So let's go on with the question. Courtney, this is to you. Have you ever tried the IEF?
I'm not sure what that is. So,
let's
please elaborate. I want to say no, I haven't because we haven't really tried anything other than the old-fashioned way. And maybe, apps and things as far as trying to tell you when most fertile times are based on your cycles and things like that. So the best time to try to get pregnant. But that's really it.
If they give us an explanation on that, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Another question was, what do you guys think of women who decide not to have kids? And that's true. Well, tonight we try those who want to, but I don't
think anything more or less. I don't, judgment, quote unquote. I mean, for lack of a better word, I don't have really a thought for that. I feel like it's a personal choice. I'm not in that place in my walk that I'm like mad at other women who don't want to have kids. I'm not like, how could you not? Because I want it so bad. I'm not there. I pray that I don't experience that just because that is a personal thing. That would be me taking on other people's perceptions and preferences and things like that and comparing them to my situation. And that can in turn, I feel like, make it worse for me because it's the devil's playground is the mind, and that's just gonna make my thoughts just be clouded with questions and things like that. So I don't think anything more or less of women who choose not to have children.
I'm looking for the IEF. If you could explain that to Kanisha, we haven't got. I'm looking. In the midst of looking. Oh, no worries. I don't know. I'm looking it up. Childbirth. So
me personally, I mean, I think it's everyone else's preference if they want to have kids or not. I didn't want to have kids growing up. I never ever wanted to have children, and I ended up having a child at 17, and then 2 other kids when in my first marriage, and then I got remarried and I inherited 5 kids. So we have a total of 8 kids, literally. So and that's from somebody who I didn't want kids because I thought that the world was just a crazy place, and I never wanted to bring kids in the world. And the way that my life was set up, you know, and this isn't about me, but I just wanted to answer that question so they know, like, I'm for moms, or, you know, for those who don't want to be moms. I mean, to me, it's just someone's personal preference. So.
Did we really go in the whole womanhood? I mean, we was in here for a minute, but I feel like we didn't answer the question. Like, how do you feel when people feel like you're not a woman because you have not been pregnant?
Well, no one has really ever said that to me.
Okay.
I felt that personally.
Okay.
That's what, you know, I feel like, you know, certain, I don't know, I just feel like women who have had children, not that it's a competition at all, but it's like that thing that they have that I don't have. It's like, I don't feel like we connect in that way, you know. Yeah, we say how I felt. Like, yes, we're women, but am I really a true woman because I'm not a mom? Or I don't feel like adult. I don't feel like an adult because I'm not a mom. Gwen says,
yeah, let's see.
That's interesting.
Those of us with kids will say, "Be glad you don't have kids."
I'm gonna pull it up. Yep.
Okay.
Can you see that, Kiana?
How hard
my kids. I don't think people say it's intentional. I think they're speaking from their personal experience, just in the way. Yeah, and I think you said something about their perspective, our perspective on things.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And I would say that too, Gwen. I would say, you know what, it's hard being a mom. And I don't know any other way because I've been a mom at such a young age.
Yeah.
But I do know women who don't have kids, and I'm like, okay, well, can you babysit my kids for me? Can you help me out over here? I mean, to be light of the situation, but I still have empathy, and I understand that some women, that's their desire. Their desire is to be a mom. You know, and I respect that desire, you know, and it's like, okay, so, yeah.
I mean, I definitely know, I'm sure, and somebody else who's a mom will be like, you don't know because you don't have your own and what all that, whatever. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure that it's very hard. Very, very, very hard. But
that's something that you want to try.
Right. My perception is that, I mean, sometimes I'll be like, well, what in life is not hard?
There you go.
Anything worth having anything worth, how does it go? Anything worth having is
worth fighting for. Yes.
A lot of things that are hard. So I look at that like, and that's probably some in some situations my downfall or my faults, that I look at it like it's a challenge. So I'm like, ooh, okay, let's, take on the challenge. And that's probably not good in most situations. I definitely need to pray about that and work on that personally. But sometimes I'm just like, okay, but I'm not an easy router. I'm not a.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I'm not to take the easy router. So thank you for sharing. But
that's good. That's good.
I got a question for you, Kiana. So somebody who's in a similar case like Courtney's, right? Because I told people I'm not. My goal was not to keep saying like Courtney and Mariah, like, because there's other people who have different names and different stories similar to yours. How would you prepare somebody who is in a similar case like this mentally? How would you help them understand what mental steps they probably going kind of back to what I said last night? Because I think we may not see the correlation. Not everyone may not see the correlation between pregnancy and mental health. And I want to ask, how would you suggest someone to prepare their mind mentally with numerous, if I can say this, failed right now test?
Oh yeah.
Okay, can I say that without being rude?
For me, it's not offensive to me.
What?
So how can you help someone who's looking at this, who's had numerous negative tests mentally, and they want to try again, but mentally their mind is at war? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know some people may be like, man, y'all going really spiritually, but at the same time, I'm going mentally here, because mentally you have to put that thought in your mind, like, I want to be a mom. And then after failed time or, have negative results, you start beating up yourself. So how can you help us walk through with someone who may be watching, who's thinking it's good? And let me, before you ask that, I can ask this to you. Courtney, have you been to therapy, like along these lines of this?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
Licensed counseling.
all right, great. I want to make sure, people be like, you got somebody on there. Did they go to counseling?
Yes, I've been counseled before.
So,
listen, I've turned over every rock, every stone.
Yes, and not even always in the I don't know if I've been counseled on trying to conceive.
That's what I'm getting at.
Clinically or spiritually. I mean, my pastor, he's very much so involved in our, I want to say marriage, but like he did our premarital counseling and postmarital counseling. So as we have issues that we necessarily can't work through together, we do consult him and welcome his, spiritual guidance in our marriage. So with that being said, in a way, but clinically or really spiritually, I don't think I've really visited the trying to conceive topic with counseling, but I've entertained over the course of my life, both clinical counseling as well as spiritual counseling.
Would you be open to counseling with this topic, like actually having?
Yeah, I'm not against it.
Okay.
Probably I'm not against it, so I would try it. My thing is probably like, okay, but
what's gonna help me?
What's gonna help me?
Because you ain't the one.
How you gonna help the baby? Like where do
I feel you.
Where are you going? Am I gonna get pregnant after this? So that's probably where I'm at. I'm just kind of like, I mean, it'll help with talking things out and correction.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even just from the things that you've poured into me thus far over this live, spiritual counseling is probably what I need. I need to know what the Lord is saying. I need somebody who got to hear and what to hear. We talking and the Lord might give you a whisper that I might be too clouded to hear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that is what will serve me most. So yes, counseling, but I would prefer spiritual over clinical.
I got you.
Oh, that was a lot. So that was a layer explanation question.
And
no, I got you. Go ahead.
Responded. So she said she meant IVF, and so we do most of us IVF is. It stands for in vitro fertilization. Basically, they take the egg out and it's fertilized by sperm in a lab. They also do injection or something. I don't know a lot about it, but I know it's used to help people with infertility.
She was asking you. She was asking you. Have
we tried that? No, we have not.
Well, we'll get to my girl here in a minute. So answer that question. Mentally, how do we prepare those folks who are trying to conceive and negative results have kept coming multiple, and they want to try, but their mind is at war, and they may not want to call it what it is, but that's what it is. Mind is at war. Help with it.
So I think that when your mind is fogged, and Courtney just said this, when your mind is fogged, you just keep, how like you get on a tangent, like she said, you get obsessed with something.
Yeah.
What I would say is relax. Right? Relax, because your body goes into a state of shock sometimes. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And so you can be really uptight. So what I would say is relax, stop for a while, right?
I don't know how.
Right, stop for a while. And that's something again. And that's
she don't know with the stopping part now.
Yeah, the stopping part. Like, because I've been told that, and that's probably one of the frustrating things, or probably in a way too, the same thing people would say, it's going to happen when you least expect it. And that would be the frustrating to me too, because I'm just like, okay, how am I going to not expect something that I'm expecting? I don't get it. Sometimes immediately it's a mind thing. Like I start to think about, okay, I get advice. Now it's a goal. And how am I going to achieve this goal? That's just how my mind operates. And it is a huge blessing, but sometimes it is not. Sometimes I need flexibility in my train of thought. So when you say relax, I'm like, okay, cool. I got the goal, and now I'm stuck at how. We can't hear anymore.
Oh, hold on, Kiana. I think you want. Yep.
Ask God to shut your mind off.
Say it again.
Ask God to shut your mind off.
Okay.
Have them shut your mind off. Like when you go to bed at night, when you get into bed, you should not be thinking about 16,000 different things that you need to do tomorrow. You should not be thinking about your job. You should not be thinking about the things that you should not be thinking about those things. You should be thinking about your husband, and you should be thinking about the intimacy between. That's why I said I'll talk to you afterwards.
Okay.
Right. That's what I said. I'll talk to you afterwards about that part.
Okay.
You gotta, when you are goal driven, goal oriented, it's like, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. Cause if I don't do it, ain't nobody gonna do it. And I got me and my husband, this is what this looks like. Right. And that's a lot of pressure on your mind. That's a lot of pressure on your body. So what you do is you ask God to shut your mind off. Let me relax my body, relax me, relax. I mean, literally relax everything.
Yeah.
Right. And then go in it from that point of view. If there was somebody on the line who keeps looking negative, as far as a pregnancy test, again, relax, stop trying, stop just stop, just take a breather. Take a breather and figure out, because say for instance, people who are not believers, what if you can't have a baby?
Right.
Right. There's always that point. What'll happen then? Does that mean that your life is completely over? If you can't have a baby? No, you're still a woman. You still have goals. You still have things that you want to accomplish. Okay. So how can you fulfill that desire that you have of being a mother? What does that look like? Right? Because we don't want to talk about, and I'll be honest, I'm one of the things like, oh no, I believe in the promises of God. I believe that God can do anything. He opened up Sarah. He did it for Hannah. He did all these different things, and in the word. And I lean on the word a lot. Right. And I don't want to be, a pessimist and be like, oh no, like maybe you can't have, I don't ever want to say that. And that's also declaring things out of my mouth. I'm like, no, I always talk positive. And so, but some of the fact may be is that some women who are maybe not believers, they can't get pregnant. So what does that look like? What happens if you can't conceive? What happens if you don't conceive? What does that look like?
That's
and can you handle that? Right. And can you handle that?
Even not just for women who are trying to conceive. I mean, my best friend, we talked about the same topic. She wants to be married,
Mm-hmm.
pray for her husband. I've asked her that same question. Do you pray for your husband? All those things. And then, she asked me the question, sometimes there are some women or people in life who are maybe meant to be single or meant to not be a mother. And so, like, she's like, friend, have we thought about that? Like, how do you think you would handle that? Would you be okay with that? Or, we definitely talked about that. And so that is like one of those things that, the questions asked, I'm just like, I really don't even want to think that's it. So I don't even want to try to process that before that's not true. But because when I get scary thoughts, that's how I deal with them. I'm like, oh, I'm afraid away. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to. I don't really like to use the word manifest, but I don't really want to. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it, kind of thing.
And so there was a lady that I was watching her interview for her dissertation, and she was talking about spiritual bypass. And I never heard of it before, ever. And what it is, right. And what it is we're just going to pray this thing away. We're going to pray it away. We're going to pray. We're going to pray. We're going to pray. And we don't ever do anything. Right. And so in the science field, it's like, no, you have to take action. If there's something wrong, you go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, would you go to the doctor, right? And you go to the doctor and they say, well, I have this issue going on in whatever. And you can be like, well, okay, well, that's not what God told me. God told me that I'm going to have a baby and it's going to be healthy and it's going to be a boy. And this is what I heard, right? So you can go back and say, God, this is what the doctor said. And I'm not believing the report of the doctor, but I'm believing the report of the Lord. What does this look like? One thing that people don't understand is that people who are believers, we have this support. And I don't know, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like, there's just something added to it. That's like, it doesn't matter. God got this. And I think people who don't believe or who are kind of skeptical are like, let's see what God do. I mean, honestly, come, let's just be real. She thinking God gonna give her a baby. She thinking God gonna give her a car. She thinking, yeah, but then when he does it and he blesses you in your face, I'm just saying, right? Okay. And I say that to say that your testimony is going to help somebody else. So even if you go to the doctor and you find that there's nothing wrong, wonderful. If you go to the doctor and you find, then you know that it's something else you got to deal with. This is the stuff in here that you got to deal with, right? But if you go to the doctor and you find that maybe there is something that's medically wrong, okay, Lord, put the doctors in my path that can help me bring forth this child that you said that I was going to have, right? What does this look like? Okay, I have to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, fine, but it's still a testimony because all the way through, he's walking you through it. It's still a testimony. And you never know who you're blessing by going through that testimony at that time. You don't know if you are in touching the receptionist. You don't know if you touching the lab person. You don't know if you touching the assistant. You don't know, because literally our life is really not our own.
Absolutely.
Right? So you don't know. You can give somebody a word when you go into the doctor's office. And I'm just saying, just look at it from that kind of point of view as well. But yeah. No, I mean, no, I'm just because it's just because
you good. We see some comments.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We got 20 minutes.
We see some comments on the side, and like I was gonna tell her, just after the show, we'll just go back and
Well, what are the comments? Go ahead. What are they asking? I'm sorry.
But there's only one question right now that they're asking. When you say clinical, did you include a psychologist or is this a holistic medic? When you say
psychologist,
okay, yeah.
I'm not against holistic, but I haven't explored, any holistic doctors nor holistic, for counseling via thoughts in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna mention this because I don't want to ignore it, because there may be somebody who is still. I appreciate my circle. He may just be a few numbers, and I don't care about that. But the fact that this person who's chiming in is all the way from Puerto Rico and is watching us.
That Becca?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's my sister from being in the military. She's actually the first person I met.
Wow.
And at the time, she was like, Kiki, like, my English ain't that good. And look, we still friends today. It's 10 years later. I just want to touch on this because even though some people may be watching support of either one of us, you have to talk about the conception of the child. I do want to touch on this because we talk about womanhood. And so what she said is I've heard this too. She says, I've heard people call me selfish, that I'm wrong. That what if your husband wants kids, and also are you going to leave your mom without your grandkids? Oh, without grandkids. It is like, seriously, can I decide over my life and body? Which is so true.
Yes.
And I just want to not ignore it, because there may be women who are watching us but are still like, I don't want to conceive, and that's okay. And I don't think people should feel guilty for not wanting to have kids. We talked about it earlier. There's a lot of people, like I said, growing up as a kid, I didn't understand married folks was having sex. I didn't think married folks had sex because they weren't producing as quickly as I saw these people who weren't having kids,
right,
let alone relations.
But that's a conversation that you should have with your husband before you marry him.
Yeah. But we as women get attacked about that. Like, this is an open conversation, but there's always people getting attacked about, I don't want kids, and that's fine. Yeah. I will say this: I didn't want to be married before 30. I'm 31. I did not. I actually, personally, I think set up myself not to be married by 31, because I had seen very few godly marriages as a whole. I hardly seen any faithful marriages.
You've seen dysfunction.
Yep. I can honestly say I came to grips with this. I just learned this on myself a couple weeks ago. I actually only wanted to be a mother, and it was crazy where that came from, because of my nieces and nephews.
How ironic.
I wanted to become one. It was, and it's sad to say, there's no disrespect. My sister's not on Facebook, so I can say this and still not being rude. Because of her decisions, in her kid's life, me being auntie at 10 years old and having to have a full auntie, I began to want love on children, and that would raise children, and not just the raising part, like the auntie part, but actually wanted to go through the birthing process. And I learned I wanted to be a mom. I didn't want to be a wife. But I think I didn't want to be a wife because everybody wants to be a wife. But I woke up on my 29th birthday and said, you know what? I think I want to share my life now. So here we are, only 2 years after picturing myself wanting to share my life. Because up to that point, I didn't want to share my life. I did. That's another day for another story. But I didn't. I want to share my life. So we're going to be obedient to timing. I see nothing for you. No, but I am being obedient to timing. I want to ask this question before we get off. We ain't there yet. But Courtney, somebody who's sitting here watching you, save and unsaved, on both sides, what would you say to encourage them at this moment? What would you say to them? Encourage, uplift. What would you just say to somebody looking at you who ain't even? What about the person who ain't even? Probably far fetched. Who ain't even told nobody about them trying to conceive?
if you met somebody or if you are watching this live and you haven't told somebody, I think it's important to have someone that you can talk to that can relate. I think it's important to have someone to talk to as far as, counseling, whether it's spiritual or clinical. But I do think it's really important to be able to talk to someone who can relate, who knows exactly what you feel like, when you took the negative pregnancy test, or, if you're going through in vitro and the first try didn't work, or whatever the testimony is. I feel it's important to be able to, like, sometimes it's frustrating when you're trying to, you're upset and there's someone trying to be there for you and you are allowing them to be there for you, but you are having to kind of like really, really, really descriptively, you're trying to help them understand what you're experiencing. And sometimes, they can only go off of what you're telling them. What you're telling them. And so based on where you are and being able to effectively communicate for yourself, their perception may be far off, and it just might end up just being completely frustrated, and you may feel alone. And those feelings to keep adding on to I feel alone, and I know I'm not alone. You know what I mean? I have
glad you said that.
Very active. And there are some times where I feel alone. The fact is that I'm not alone, but I still feel that sometimes. And so for anyone who is watching and dealing with it, if you haven't talked to someone about it, share it with a friend or join a support group, whether it's on Facebook or if it's at your local church or, community center. If you stumble across any opportunity to just be in a community with others who can seriously relate, I encourage that. If you are a believer, I encourage you to continue praying, to not give up, and even at times when you feel doubt, you feel disbelief, you rebuke those things and you continue to, as Kiana reminded me, to repeat the report of the Lord. If you receive prophecy or if the Lord has told you and you've heard that for yourself as to what the Lord has for you, you repeat those things back to Him, but you repeat those things to yourself as a reminder, because as we've talked about a lot in this life, that the devil is not the devil, the mind is the devil's playground, but he is going to, like you said, if you have a goal, he's gonna get in your mind and tell you you're not good enough for that goal. You can't reach that goal. And so you need to tackle those things as they come along and give yourself time. Love on yourself, allow yourself those tears, those days that you like, not today. I need a moment, I need to lay down, I need to cry it out. Don't fight. Don't always try to be strong. I'm a very strong person. I feel like I've become very open.
Repeat that last part, the strong word.
I'm a very strong person.
Yeah.
But you don't be strong if you don't have
right. And I had to I had to learn how to be okay with not being strong. Like you can have your moment. Have your moment. That doesn't mean that you are not strong. That just means I need to release. I'm holding in all this stuff. I'm carrying all these things. I'm not shutting my mind. My mind is not shut off. I'm probably thinking in my sleep, if you can even do that. Like, so
I do too.
If you are, you wake up in the morning and be like, dang, how did I remember that? You was thinking about it. I don't know. But nonetheless, allow yourself those moments, and I always say in any type of situation with my friends, if they're going through something or whatever, or if I'm mentoring someone, feel how you are going to feel. Feel your feelings.
Yes.
Feel your feelings, but you can't stay there. So you feel the feelings, process those feelings. Okay, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling. Okay, now what am I going to do about these? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do from here? I got to get up and I got to keep pushing. So figuring out how you do that, but don't try to, own those feelings. And, you try to be like, when you try to deny them, it just prolongs the whole thing and it just makes you very short and irritable. And that's not really a way to live life. So
yeah,
that's all I got.
I appreciate. I
I agree with that.
Doc, come on, Doc. No, I'm done.
So funny. I agree with you, Courtney. I agree with you. I agree. Go ahead. Ask the question. What were we gonna ask?
No. I just want her to repeat the strong part because we need to reiterate. I don't care how many times I have Kiana. She might get tired of me repeating some stuff. We got to keep repeating.
No,
some things people don't click the first time. Because when we first did our first show in May, I talked about how African American women, we're taught to be strong.
Yeah.
And by culture, I think all of us are taught to be strong. We talked about this last night. How when you talked about with Mariah about when you look at the doctor, you help me out. What was the doctor's name that you said when the doctor of, was it gynecologist? the one who studied on Black women.
Yeah, yes, with no
Right.
with no pain medicine.
And how they looked at African Americans, how we're strong, and so they basically feel like we can just take
Oh
everything.
yes, so in Mariah's case that was neglected. They
Yeah.
neglected what she was going through because they're like they thought she was being dramatic,
Right.
or maybe I can't tell her story, but women in those certain situations they felt like they were ignored, or the doctors felt like they didn't know what they were talking about. If I'm telling you something is wrong, they're like, no, you're just being dramatic, and that's not true.
But even culturally, we're taught to be strong.
Yeah.
You know, some people are like, we're just saying a history lesson, but if you go history wise, you think now from slavery to now, right? We took a lot. We took a lot of whippings. What Black women have took rape, and so people have thought we're perceived that we're strong beings. And so in this case, with it being a sensitive subject, I want people to understand that it's okay to not be strong. Like,
Absolutely,
it's okay to have a weak moment. I want to celebrate until
it's okay to be vulnerable. But that's why we have a hard time being vulnerable. That's why there's not a lot of them who come on and say, hey, listen, I'm having a problem with miscarriage. I'm having a problem. My baby died. People don't do that. I have a problem with depression. I have a problem with bipolar. People don't do that because we're supposed to be strong and we're supposed to cry at night in our closet by ourselves and feel hopeless and wake up in the morning and put on the super cape and say, hey, right?
Yeah.
I'm good. And that's not true. That is not true at all. I ask my client, one of the biggest things I do, I ask my clients, no matter what age they are, what is your superpower? Because we all have a superpower. We can't, it's like Superman flies fast, he's strong, but you can't have like 100 superpowers. How is that possible that you can have 100 superpowers? You can be good at maybe one or two things, right? But I mean, no. What is we don't have to be strong all the time. We're not strong in every area of our life. That is a lie from the pit of hell. I'm sorry, it just isn't. I mean, it's the truth. We just can't. There's just no way.
I love you, Kiana. I love you so much.
Sorry, I'm just.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'll again actually one more thing. Is there any more last questions that anybody has for Courtney or for Kiana with this sensitive conversation? Because I know as soon as we get off, y'all for part 2 conversation is gonna be a little longer. So I'm trying to be obedient with married folks, you single people. I said it last night, I said it again. We ain't got nothing but time on our hands. So, and plus my mama dropped 2 kids off, so she really she don't care about me. But if there are any last questions, I do want to say this though. I get in my mind and I forget it. That's a statement. And that is, I commend Courtney for being a person who has a business, okay? This is just mind-boggling, man. I was not making that deep. She has a business working as a childcare, right? She has a business doing this, and that is what she desires. That's what God has promised her. So what, if anything, that if you ain't got nothing else, it's like still work in the field, but also like work in the field doesn't mean necessarily I'm saying childcare. I mean, for ladies who may be watching this, work wherever God has you working. Continue to do the work. Continue to do whatever it is God has you doing right now until His promise is manifesting in your life. Like, even if it hurts, to continue to do it.
I agree.
Because when you said it, and I thought, and honestly, ever since that time I came to your house when Dominic took the picture of me, I just kept thinking about it, like, this chick, no offense,
no, that's okay.
really got a daycare and is desiring a child. Like how burdensome it could be and how heartbreaking it could be. And it may be, I don't know. But you have a job working in what you desire. And so I commend you because I don't know too many women that can be doing it. I say that like wholeheartedly. Like there's some single women who can't be around married people. I mean, I joke about it. Y'all, I know I've said it every night. I joke about it. I just told y'all 2 years. I've only been 2 years in this game mentally. Like, I want to do this. But I joke about it. But there's some women, people who can't be around other married folks. They're envious, you know? Here you are working in with babies.
And thankfully, I don't feel envious. And I thank God for that, because that is something that the devil could use to keep me stagnant, or, that's something that I could be in my flesh about, that some people who can really relate to me or can, have that same job and desire children, they may feel that way. So I'm thankful that that's not my testimony, because that would make it extremely harder, that's your everyday life and you are just sad in doing that. You know what I mean? So, because it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming caring for children, more than more than 3,
It's,
more than 2, more than 1 sometimes, more than at one time. It's very, very overwhelming. My day-to-day is very demanding. And so, I mean, even like I said, as far as mental health, I feel like I probably am in the worst place with it currently. Is that there are times when it's like it's a difficult day, and I'm just like, do I even want to have kids? Oh my gosh. And so I recently, in tears, very transparently expressed to my husband, and he was just like, I think it's just a trick, but my friends were laughing at me. They're like, Dominic, he always used to voice the reason,
Yeah.
But he's like, I just think it's just a trick of the enemy, And he had to remind me, he was like, you're not going to be a single parent. And I was like, you're right. I forgot. I don't know why sometimes women, we just kind of just take on the responsibility solely. Like we're just, I don't know what that was about, but he had to remind me, you won't be doing it alone. So it's gonna be okay. It's just a trick of the enemy. That's not true. You do still desire it. It's yes, it's difficult right now, But as even all the parents that I serve have told me the same thing. It's different when it's your own way. And don't you worry, And they are always very loving and encouraging and all of those great things. So I've been very blessed with the job that I have, and very blessed with the tribe that I have, the people who I see daily and who are in my space daily.
Like Courtney, God will be your desire. I love you.
Thank you. And I love you too. Appreciate that.
Sorry, my mind is. Listen, I'm going to talk about me, but I got to say this because a lot of people like all this stuff. This is very taxing on the mind. It really is. As we talk about the mind, it's very taxing. So I went home last night, much later, because I talked to the guest for Friday. It's tomorrow, Lord Jesus.
Lord.
Tomorrow, Lord Jesus. And I said, I got a headache. So that's why I'm excited that Sunday I'm not doing the show. I called my first lady last night. I told her I'm laying everybody's issue at the altar, because if there's anything, not to going to tangent, if there's anything I've learned from Monday's night conversations, so even tonight, there is still a hurt in everybody that's spoken. There is still a longing, a desire, and I can't take y'all physically there to the altar, but I'm taking y'all's issues and concerns. And I'm not just waiting till Sunday, but I really am, because I know Saturday is a hard day for me to talk about suicide. It's hard, but it's easy. If that makes any sense. I love it, but it's still a struggle of mine. And
know that's something you experience.
Yeah. I thank you for coming on. This ain't your last thought, so get ready for your last thoughts. YouTube, get ready for your last thoughts. I'm just mumbling, so I'm gonna actually tease this next shows while y'all get your last thoughts together. So I thank you all who chimed in with us, get this far, an hour and a half. I'm obedient. I'm going to be obedient to the timing that I said, because this is why. These wacky, okay, over here. But also, I want to let you know tomorrow, I've never had a chance to actually sit down with someone of this character, meaning an inmate who is very open, very transparent. I don't have a therapist to be online with us tomorrow, but that's okay. This brother is so dope. Okay, he spent his entire life now, since he's been out, spending 10 years in the prison. So his whole life now, helping other inmates come, or while they're in there, he helps them do like a daddy program, and he's helping them want to get out, be rehabilitated. And we had touched on some issues already about how being incarcerated affects your mental mind, about how being neglected by family members and how that plays into your mental mind. You think you're strong. When you see these cousins, family members, they get out of prison, they all buff physically, ain't got nothing to do with this mind. Right. That mind might have went down. Saturday, it's only 2 days, y'all. We only in this thing 2 more days. I can't believe that. Saturday, I got Queen Cookie, who's gonna come on and discuss her grandson's life and legacy. He died by suicide, I believe. I don't want to do this year wrong. I know it's 4. I want to say 2004, 2014. I'm being really maybe saying it wrong, but I know she's gonna come on. She is she's a character. First of all, she's a comedian. She's hilarious. So I threw the pain. I hope we can get one laugh, but it's great. I met her in November, and I can't wait for her to share a story. So on this note, Kiana?
Yes.
Help us out, doctor. You know, I love saying doctor. I love
I
that.
love you. I love you speaking that because I receive it.
I love that.
Amen.
I love doctor.
That's my last leg. I received that.
I love
received
doctor.
that. That's the last leg of my journey. Yeah.
Love it. So, Dr. Harper, I'm gonna need you. Can you give us Dr. Harper's last thoughts, and then Courtney's going to give us her last thoughts. Now, when you give your last thoughts, let people know where they can find you since this is your last
Yeah,
night.
I need to know.
Where you at? Well, we're gonna get y'all connected for sure.
Well, thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Levy. It's. Give me a minute.
Okay. We'll let you. I'm gonna talk 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
Okay.
I'm gonna joke with you and say that people last night thought we knew each other. I think people think that when I bring people on, that
Y'all don't know each other?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, well, okay.
We do, but we don't. We do, but we don't.
Okay. Well,
Yes, we do, but we don't.
So well, I'll do this. I'll do story time. Okay. I've been telling everybody the story about you. Kiana bought a shirt.
Okay.
So last year, if you didn't know, her husband, I admire y'all's business. So
thank you. I appreciate.
Last year, it's too much going on. I had made this shirt. It takes two to make a person get right.
Okay.
And I had it in a red. And Tanisha posted the picture. And then Kiana saw the picture and was like, basically, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
And so Tanisha was like, I'm going to Columbus this weekend. And this was like within days. And I don't make my shirts. Like I don't press mine. So I literally called somebody like, hey, can you give me a shirt? I actually ended up doing something else. I can't see what I did on air, but I ended up giving somebody else. I ended up giving her somebody else's order, and then some that wait a few more days. And in the midst of that, Yana posted a picture. Yana gets all these likes and shares, and people ask her where she gets the shirt. And I befriended her, and I walked the character from last year up to April.
And I am already. I'm like,
in April,
where can I watch?
in April, I came to her
inspired.
about getting on my show. And she tells me the first thing that Kiana says to me after I gave her the option to get on my, the show, she said, I didn't pray about it. And, I ain't gonna lie, the card on me was like, dude, why can't you just say yes? But I was like, okay, because everybody got taken to Jesus. It's okay. I understand.
But I admire that so
But
much.
she took it to Jesus and she came back to me and she said yes. And that show to this day is actually one of my top shows on Facebook Lives that I've ever done. Is with Kiana on Tuesday, and it was just me and her going back and forth about therapy and just answering questions, and it's still on my show. So physically, me and Kiana have just met 2 Sundays ago in her own home.
Wow.
Over a year we met through the shirt, but physically in this flesh, she welcomed me in her home. And I'm gonna say this: as beautiful as she is on the outside, she is on the inside. She's so humble, and I love that our paths cross. And so, even more so, Courtney, I ain't leaving you out. Get your thoughts together, Kiana. I'm coming for you now. Courtney, it's interesting that I had to go through all her family members just to meet her at the end of it.
I know.
Know her granddad, met her mom, fell in love with her mom, love her mom, love her, and then met Courtney at the end of it. And it's a beautiful thing. And regardless of how our paths have crossed, thankful. I'm thankful for everybody's paths crossed, and hope not this to be the last time we work together or do anything like this.
Not. And I'm thankful for you having me.
Yeah, and again, we don't care about the numbers. We hope the impact is well received. So, Kiana, you ready?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes, I am.
Dr. Hart.
So what I would say, my last thought is, I'm really big on affirming, right? Affirming myself and affirming other women, affirming people, period. Men or women, doesn't matter. Children, young, old. So what I would say on this topic is that you are a woman, right? For those people who cannot, or who are having problems, I can't say can't, who are having issues right now with conceiving, you are a woman. You have emotions, you have feelings, you have actions, you have a consciousness. You are a woman, and that is who God has created you to be. I would also say that if your desire, and God knows what someone's desire is to have a baby, hold on to the promises of God, because that is the most important thing in the world. I don't care what anybody says. Hold on to the promises of God and don't give up. Hold on to them and literally give them back to God. As a person who is not a believer, what I would say to them is go to counseling. I would say let's have somebody, just like Courtney said, walk this thing out with you, because it is important to have a support system. No one should be able to, even you, and again, because it's taxing, even if you're married, it's taxing on the husband as well. It's taxing on the whole family. We just heard that from Courtney. So have an outside support system that you can call and say, hey, listen, what do I do? This is how I'm feeling. And yeah, again, and seek medical advice and go from there, and take the steps that's needed to conceive your child. And that's what I would say.
Courtney, your last thoughts? Anything you want to share with the good folks on the web?
I think I've shared all really that I.
If they want to follow you, find you, if you want some new friends, I don't know if you want some new stalkers, let us know.
Well, if any women watching can relate, share and trying to conceive, feel free to join the Facebook group. It's called Wanna Be Mommy, WANNABEMOMMY. You can find me on Instagram at _ I am so fully Ray. That's SOUFULLYRAE. And Courtney Price on Facebook. So I plan to, come back out of, not
Hibernation, yes.
And continue to do my thing and allowing the Lord to lead me into what He has me share and encourage and uplift and inspire and all those good things. I plan to come back. I have been writing. So I will be, popping out a book in the near future.
For that,
I have been writing. So I have still been working, and so I say that to say I'm excited for what God has. I am excited for the purpose as to what this wait is all about. I'm excited to see what, in the long run, what God has come of the tears and the hurt and the pain, or what I feel may be so negative or hurtful, that I'm really excited to see this to bloom from that. And so I do that with all the others who may be trying to conceive, and others who are just going through a tough time. And I feel that you give birth to things spiritually.
Yeah.
I've always looked at it like, when I started my business, I'm like, this is my baby. This is my baby. That is really, it really is. And so that was a hard thing. And some people don't really understand why I go so hard for my business. Not only that, it's like, who ain't serious about their home? But nonetheless, I take it very seriously, because that is my baby. And just like any mother, physical mother who is crazy about their child and would do anything for their child to protect them and to nurture them, love them, all those things, I'm in the same way about the things that God has given me. And so I say that to say anybody who is having a hard time with birthing whatever it is God has for them, whether it's in the spiritual or in the natural, continue to feel those birthing pains and just look forward to see what the beautiful thing is that God has for you in the end.
I couldn't hear nothing better than that. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Listen, I'm just here serving y'all. Now, see, I told you heard me say that last night.
We did.
I'm a humble one. That's why my license plate says humble 4 on there. That's exactly right. For those who are not my friend or doesn't follow the page, K & Co Company, please do. I said it last night. I am not one of those annoying pages that come on every day. This was not planned. Don't know if we'll do another one.
And I love that you did it. I want you to say that. I do love it. I really appreciate you doing that. That is tremendous sacrifice. Putting yourself in the line of hearing other people's stories when you dealt with different things in your own mental health. I really feel that.
I appreciate it. I do. I really do. I don't take it. Listen, y'all, I don't take it to my head at all. There is talk of another. We're doing pop-ups of part 2s from, I believe, yesterday's, and the absence of the father. The absence of the father got crazy. If y'all ain't watched that, y'all need to go watch it. We're doing pop-ups hopefully here in the next 30 days. But there has been talk, there's been asked of me, and y'all pray about it. It's really honestly the Lord doing it. He'll let me know by the end of the year, not now. About bringing on, talking about the mental, the physical, the spiritual, and emotional aspect. But the way that I see it, is my guest will be therapists and preachers.
And that's so good, because we're tackling things that should be held in the church. You know what I mean? Like something, and I know I said like counseling things are counseling things, church things are church things, right? But there should be somebody in the church that's equipped to help. And I said this yesterday, to help people walk out their salvation, to walk out their deliverance. You know what I mean? Because it's hard. It is very hard, and to tackle certain things and to be okay to refer them out to counselors. Like that's a gift. That is what, you know what I mean? Like, and I do believe, and I believe that I'm called to this, right? I didn't choose this.
Right.
Remember, I told you even before that, before we even got on, I didn't choose this. This is something that I was called to do.
Yeah.
And so I believe that when you commit to the call, God gives you what you need, you know what I mean, to service his people.
Yeah.
And so that comes with discernment, that comes with the Holy Spirit, that comes with a lot of different things when we talk about the spiritual realm. And people are sitting in churches, literally, and their gift is just dying because they have what it takes. But the pastors are like, no, they want to do everything. They want to have control over it all. And you can't have control over everything, right?
Absolutely.
Didn't Moses' father tell him that he had to, okay, Holy Spirit, yeah. I'm like, didn't Moses' father-in-law tell him he had to, it's in Exodus, that to wise counsel. He talks about it's in there. It's
Yep.
I'm like, it's in there, because I'm just like paraphrasing. So if it's in the word, right? So why can't leaders take heed? I mean, he was, you know what I mean? Like he didn't free these people, and you mean to tell me that? So what makes you any better than him?
Him. We gonna tag team this. That's the way I guess you can say I am doing it. I guess you can say I'm already gonna be doing it. But that's how it's been laid on my heart, is this time not to do personal experiences, and given they matter. But when I say physical, like it was a thought of a friend, and when she meant physical, I went somewhere else with it. She meant like actually bringing a nutritionist in, right? Because we need to take care of our temples. And I was like, okay, I got you on that.
But bringing in a what?
Bringing a nutritionist.
Nutritionist, absolutely.
Don't care about, we need to worry about our temples. So I was like, all right, God, we're gonna break this down 4 days, not 6 and not 7. Not 6 and not 7. We're gonna do this in 4 days. We're gonna do the physical, the spiritual, the mental, the emotional aspect of maybe we'll do 5. Maybe we'll do 5. Because you'll wrap them all together and put the whole being. But that's the goal, is to tackle
our output, though. But it's our output, because what we put in our body is what we give out. We spew out. That's all that is. So, and we're 3 parts. We're body, we're soul, and we're spirit. And we're spirit first, right? We just occupy the body. And so what does that look like? So we have to literally be healed. I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, we have to be healed in all areas.
Let me end this, and you have a part 2.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna talk to this. So anybody that's watching, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. The 2 of you over there, I love you guys. You guys are the bomb.
You are the bomb.
I love you, Lord. You guys are the bomb, girl. Keep going, keep pushing, keep doing you, keep pressing, keep showing people, hey, listen, because people are watching. You know what I mean? And even those who are praying for your downfall, you're gonna show them something different too.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Right? But you don't have to. But you don't have to show them anything. That's the whole thing. You don't have to. But it's just something that is in you. You just do. You just do. So yeah, everything is good.
Well, listen, y'all. For those who are watching, see y'all tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
See you guys later.
Yes.
Bye.